Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now again, I brought you a story earlier today about a fatal crash that happened just outside of Wilson. For those of you who again missed that, here is the latest. The crash happened around 11 p.m. on Wednesday on I-587 just outside of Wilson near the Highway 58 interchange. The Highway Patrol says that 78-year-old Mac Worley of Ayden was heading west in the eastbound lanes, going the wrong way, when his vehicle struck another vehicle. That was driven by 39-year-old Ismael Resendez Cabrera of Greenville. Now, both drivers died at the scene of the crash, and there were no passengers in either car. Now, troopers do not know why the Ayden man was on the wrong side of the highway. They say impairment is not suspected in the crash. And also want to highlight again some of the good news that's going on in eastern North Carolina, and that points us to high school football. Of course, we are going to be highlighting the Eastern North Carolina High School Game of the Week, which is between the J.H. Rose Rampants and the Havelock Rams. The game will be played in Havelock tonight at 7 o'clock. You can find the stream on You can find the game, I should say, on WITN 7.2 My TV, or you can stream it through platforms such as WITN.com, the WITN News smartphone apps, and the WITN News Smart TV app that can be found on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and Google TV. The Eastern North Carolina High School Football Game of the Week is sponsored by Kellum Law Firm, 264 Shoes and Apparel, and Superior Metal Structures and Concrete, LLC. Should be a fantastic game. Our very own Chris Cook is going to be out at the game providing color commentary. Should be a great time. Hopefully we get a great game. Of course, those are great teams that should clash on the gridiron tonight. Now, as far as your weather forecast goes, things again are looking very sunny outside. We've got a few clouds out there, not the clouds that are going to bring about any sort of the rain chances we've seen over the past few days. Certainly not going to be seeing any of the dreary clouds either. These are fair weather cumulus clouds, tend to be fairly isolated and small, can group together, but again, there's still some breaks in those clouds, giving us some peaks of sunshine. Here's what it looks like outside in Morehead City. Again, you can see that, yeah, we've got some clouds present, but still still feels like a pretty sunny day. Those clouds are just kind of giving us a little bit of a break from the sun periodically through the afternoon. Right now, 80 degrees feels like 81 as dew points are down in a big way from yesterday, thanks to a northeasterly breeze at 15 miles an hour, but more so thanks to an area of low pressure that is no longer sitting right off the coast. It's a little bit deeper into the Atlantic. That takes that moisture center of that low and pulls it away from eastern North Carolina, and that allows that dry air to move in. Now here's a look at your visible satellite. Again, we are seeing a little bit more cloud cover really starting to extend over Bertsey County. Those of you again watching in Bertsey are probably saying, Charlie, the clouds started out patchy and now they're starting to kind of form together as one. Completely hear you. Martin County, particularly those of you watching on the western side of Martin County, seeing that same thing happen. Not to worry, as we head through the evening hours, those clouds are going to start to break apart again and slowly fade away. But right now, again, they're just enjoying that heat of the day. A little bit of air rise and what little moisture we have in the atmosphere is then converting itself into a little bit of cloud cover, but certainly nothing that's going to affect your forecast or the rest of tonight or into tomorrow. Air temperatures right now upper 70s throughout most of eastern North Carolina. A few of us did make it into the low 80s over the past hour. Right now, Beaufort still hanging on to that 80-degree mark. But again, it's one of those days where we're actually warmer than where we were yesterday by about 4 to 8 degrees. Greenville showing over the 9-degree rise. But then humidity, ironically, is showing the complete opposite trend, a fall in humidity. Normally here in eastern North Carolina, whenever we have a boost in heat, we tend to see a rise in the moisture content of our air. That's because hotter air can hold more moisture. So as the air gets hotter, it's like, okay, well, moisture, come on in. Be a part of the party. Not today. That moisture is getting the boot out into the Atlantic, and that's leaving us with very comfortable conditions throughout the area today, and those will last through the upcoming weekend. Saturday, tomorrow, and Sunday, day after tomorrow, we'll still be seeing a northeasterly breeze that will help keep air temperatures around our seasonal average in the low 80s, but more so it will keep the humidity down. That is going to be very nice as we step outside through tomorrow afternoon, but through the rest of today, again, we may see some of those upper 70s transition to that low 80s range, but right now we're pretty much at where we're going to be in terms of high temperatures for today. Later on this evening, dropping into the mid 70s by 7 p.m., low 70s between 8 and 9 p.m., and then we're into the upper 60s by 11. Northeasterly winds will again continue to blow in at a I'd say a little bit higher than mild range of around 7 to 15 miles an hour through the rest of the daylight hours. But once we get past sunset, a lot of those sustained wind speeds are going to be coming down to more of a 4 to 8 mile per hour range. Now that area of high pressures are going to do a great job of again keeping us sunny and mild. That area of low pressure you're seeing back towards Denver, well, that's our next system. That should be with us coming up next week. But again, there's still some time for that to possibly shake out to where we don't see much rain out of that system. Right now, we've got rain showers coming in for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. The rest of your 8-day forecast looking dry and mild. Daytime highs right around the low to mid 80s and overnight lows in the low to mid 60s. This is a very comfortable looking forecast, and it's one that I don't think we're going to get too many complaints about. We do want to quickly mention, though, that there is an area of concern in the Atlantic that has just moved into the Atlantic off the coast of Africa. Not one we need to be concerned about right now in eastern North Carolina. If we were to see any sort of impacts out of that system, it would likely be about 2 weeks away from where we're at right now. And even then, that's a very, very small chance that will happen. Right now, it looks like the system, at least long-range models are indicating that system, if it does indeed form into a tropical system, will likely stay east of Bermuda, of course, which keeps us from feeling any sort of direct impacts as far as rain and wind go. Yeah, our beaches may see some increased surf, maybe some increased rip current threat, but overall we're kind of out of that beach swimming season as school is now back in session, and certainly something I don't think we're going to need to worry about too much at this point in the game. That's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Friday.